All right, everyone, a quick disclaimer on this video. Please listen to this before you watch the video. Now, when I first posted this video, I did not have this information, and I wanted to give this to you guys before you guys watch the video, because there was a lot of stuff in the comments wondering why these trees were being mulched and not hauled off, for lumber or, to be used for some other purpose. And there's two good reasons for that. One, big question was, why are these trees being taken down in the first place? And the biggest reason for that is safety. This area right here, through here, where all these trees are, has seen a lot of accidents in the last year where people have been running off the road at high rates of speeds and going into the trees. I think they had 5 fatalities last year alone. And actually right up where I parked, there was a big white cross that somebody had put up there as a memorial for someone that died right there. So that's the big reason why these trees are being taken down, is because they are a safety issue. The second issue is why were the bigger trees not being hauled off for lumber. And the reason for that is because in order to get the log trucks into this median section and then out, a whole lane on the northbound and southbound section of this interstate, which is I-95, and it's one of the busiest interstates in the country, especially on the East Coast, would have to be shut down. And that's gonna block up traffic, slow down traffic, and also creates a huge safety issue for other drivers on the road and for the truck drivers. So that is the two big reasons why, and the powers that be made the decision that these trees needed to come down for safety, to save people's lives. And the other decision was made is it was not worth the safety issue of shutting down 2 lanes and creating another safety issue trying to get this lumber out. So I hope that explains that. I had to delete that video, and I'm re-uploading it with this disclaimer here to answer a lot of the questions that you guys had, or a lot of the concerns that you guys had with what was going on here. So at the end of the day, the powers that be here are trying to save people's lives here, and they do have the public's best interest at heart with this project. So I wanted to put that out there so you guys knew that. So just watch the video, enjoy it. We're getting to see some great operators and a great company do their thing here on the side of the road. It was a great time out there. So sit back, enjoy the video, and I hope you guys enjoy. Good afternoon, everybody. It is, let's say Tuesday, and we are on a special I Dig It 4 episode, and I've got a really fun video I hope for you guys today. We're gonna see how it goes, but I'm very hopeful. It's a little loud. We're right next to an interstate, and it is very windy out here. We had a huge rainstorm come through yesterday, and now the wind is behind it, so it's a little breezy out here. But we are with some friends of mine with Whack 'em and Stack 'em Tree Service. They are out of near Charleston, South Carolina. They are a full-service tree and mulching company, and they have allowed me to come out here and hang out with them on a big right-of-way mulching job. So let's take a look at what we got, and we're gonna have some really cool grinding today, so let's check it out. All right, check this out. We got a Hyundai 210 AL. It's got a Dennis Seamoff 125 head on it. Got another one down there. It's a 210 as well with a 150 head, just a little bit bigger mulcher head. And they're coming through here, laying down these big pines and grinding them up. And they're just mulching all this down. And they've got a big, they got a guy coming to, he'll be here in about an hour. They've got a big track feller buncher right there on tracks that's supposed to be laying down the trees, and then they take the excavators through here and grind them up. So we're gonna have pretty fun. We're gonna walk right through here and just grind for the whole afternoon and see what we can get done. So let's have some fun. I want to show you guys these teeth. These teeth are really interesting. So this is a Denny Seamoff head, but these teeth are made by a company called Gyro Track, and they have these grooves in them like this. This is unique to, this is their tooth. This is a unique design to Gyro Track, and this is like a self-sharpening tooth. So these areas here are thin, so as this wears, it almost sharpens itself. So you have to do you don't have to do a whole lot of sharpening to these teeth to keep them sharp. And what they're doing here, I mean, they do need sharpening, but for the most part, they keep their edge very much better than a normal flat tooth that would be solid all the way through. So that's pretty interesting that they run these teeth, and they love them. They've had very good success running these teeth. They get very good life out of them running these knives. So these are hardened steel, not carbide, and they're really cool. I've never seen them up close. I'd seen a YouTube video on them, but they're very impressive. It's a really cool design, and I love this kind of like new stuff, people coming out with new technologies and stuff. It's pretty awesome. There it goes. Woo! she's gonna go down now. There she goes. Boom! That was pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. He just took a massive chunk out of that tree with one swipe. That 150 head is just making quick work of that tree. Nothing to it. Soft pine, nothing to it. One of the things you'll notice is they do very little grinding parallel or perpendicular to the road out here. Now those CMOS do have a gate on the back side, a deflector to keep chips from being shot out the back side, but they're trying to grind everything in this line. So they lay the trees out this line and they try to keep everything, so if the chips get shot out the back side of the mulcher, they go in line with the right-of-way and not out into the road. You got to be very, very careful here. Working next to this highway, you have to be a very experienced operator to know what you're doing, because you've got highways on both sides. This is I-95. This is one of the busiest interstates in the country. I mean, there's no telling how many hundreds of thousands of cars go by here every day. So these guys are very good at what they do. They do a lot of this work. And you can see it. I mean, they're dropping the trees and they're right in line with this right-of-way. So those of you that might be wondering, see all this little stuff and like these chunks like this. So what they'll do, this is really just the rough end phase with the excavators and that track cutter, and then they'll bring a track machine, a gyro track machine on track, and they'll come back through here and dress all this down, because the chips have to be in like 6 inches, about 6 inches or so, or smaller. So they'll come back through, dress all this down, chew up all these chunks and stuff like that. The excavators are just sort of doing the rough work, getting these trees down, getting them into decent sized pieces, and then they'll come back through and dress everything down, make it look nice and pretty. And that's kind of how the system goes through here, is how they do it. And the other thing is, so this is the drainage for both sides of the interstate, and so this gets very wet in here. You can see this ground is really wet. I mean, it rained, we got about 3 inches of rain yesterday, but the ground is really soft and wet. So it could be, you really wouldn't want to bring a skid steer on rubber tracks through here. You'd probably have issues getting stuck in a lot of spots. So they come through here with a machine on metal tracks like that, gives them much better traction, a lot less slipping and sliding or issues with getting stuck down in here, especially after a rainstorm. But this whole area stays wet because of all the runoff from the highways. So he's about to drop another big pine right there. So he's going back up. So they're constantly communicating and looking at each other about what each one is doing. There he goes, he's pushing on it. And it cracked, it's coming. Down it goes. And they just keep working. So here's another issue that these guys are constantly having to deal with doing these right-of-ways through here, is this kind of stuff that gets either dumped or pushed off the side of the road or gets flung off of cars from accidents. You know, tires, chunks of concrete. I mean, that's a big old piece of cable right there. That's part of a car, metal, all kinds of stuff in here that they find. So that they constantly have to be on the lookout for, you know, because that goes up into that mulcher, that could cause some damage. So this is, you know, they have to constantly, this is, you have to know what you're doing to be able to do this kind of work. And these guys, they do a lot of this work, so they're very experienced in it. But you've got so many things going on here with the road, with the debris in here, the trash, dropping the trees, make sure you're grinding them safely, watching out for cars, you know, because I mean, what's to stop a car from running off the side of the road or one of those 18-wheelers and, you know, have an accident? They come plowing through here. It's fun. I would definitely do this job. Like I could sit in those machines and grind all day long, but you really have to know what you're doing. It's not for the faint of heart, I can tell you that, to mulch along these roadways. So drop that tree. Down she goes. Boom. Whack 'em and stack 'em. That's a pretty apt name at the moment, because that's what these guys are doing. These machines do not have what's called a pattern changer, and the pattern changer allows you to switch the controls of the joysticks from one control pattern to another. I've been running what's called backhoe pattern my entire life, and these excavators are set up in excavator pattern, which is completely different. That being said, they let me get in the machine and try to grind up one of these trees for a few minutes, so this is not my best attempt when you're running a pattern that you're not used to. All right, guys, that went a little better than I expected, but I got that little bit of mulch down. So again, that doesn't have a pattern changer. I was running in a backwards pattern, but yeah, we got that little bit of stuff chewed up. I was starting to very much get the hang of it there after about 10 minutes, a little bit. But when you're used to running one pattern for 30 years and then you go over to a different pattern, it'll throw you off. So, but yeah, that worked. That was cool. That thing will eat. I loved it. That's awesome. All right, the guy with the track cutter's finally here and he's running. We had to go get 2 new batteries for that thing. The batteries in it were dead. So that took a minute. We tried to jump it, it wouldn't jump. So we got 2 new batteries and he's over here dropping trees. Let's walk down here and see if we can't watch him drop a few trees and not get crushed by one in the process. He's done laid down quite a few already, half a dozen at least. Oh, it's muddy and wet. Muddy. Down she goes. Well, he's made pretty quick work through here in about 20 minutes. He's knocking these trees down left and right. There goes another one. Boom. tree was so big that he had to front cut it, and then he's gonna come around it from the back and cut it back from the back and then push it over. Alright guys, that is it for today. A lot of fun stuff out here. It is really loud, all these trucks and cars and stuff going by. But I had a great time out here with the guys from Whack-'em and Stack-'em Tree Service. If you're in the Charleston area and you need a full service tree company, or you need some big mulching work done, or really any mulching work, but these guys do a lot of big mulching work, but they also take down trees. So if you need any residential tree work done, they do that as well. I'll put a website and a phone number in the description below for all their stuff. So please check them out if you're in the Charleston area and need anything. I don't really do much work in Charleston, and so I was really appreciative of these guys letting me come out here, spend some time with them, see how they do this stuff, see some awesome equipment. I got the big track cutter right behind me back here. That thing was pretty wild, but it was a great time out here today. Got to see some really interesting equipment, see how these guys do their stuff, swap some stories, learn from them. Just really great guys. The owner, Kyle, was out here earlier today. Super great guy, super nice guy, and so just very appreciative of them letting me come out here, watching some great operators take down some trees. This is in Dillon, South Carolina, right off of I-95. So it was a great time. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. A lot more stuff to come, so stay tuned, and I will check you guys on the next video. Bye everybody.